Well, here's the 2022 Lariat hooked up to the motorcycle trailer. The problem is the tailgate and the factory hitch on the trailer. So as you can see, guess where the tailgate comes down at? Right on top of the hitch or the jack. So in order to solve that problem, I cut a couple of steel plates and I looked at a permanent mount jack that I would weld onto the frame, and I really didn't like that idea. So I ordered a jack from E-Trailer that has a pivot point on it that all I have to do is pull the pin and I take the jack off. Okay, so the jack will sit on there this manner. Now, if I've got anything in the trailer, that means I won't be able to get this jack on and off of this hitch. So the worst case scenario is either I build this up on top, add another inch or two to the top of this plate, or I just carry a couple of 2x4s to throw under the rear tire of the trailer to get the, or the rear tire of the truck to get the tongue up in the air enough to get the jack back on. So that'll solve it. I'm pretty happy with the jack. It's a very heavy jack, and just a question now is deciding exactly where I want to put this thing. I've also got the clatter or anti-rattle bracket is made for the system that's on here. This is a hitch from U-Haul. It is a Curt, C-U-R-T. It drops the tongue 6.5 or 7 inches, whichever it is. So I will get the anti-rattle thing also installed so that y'all can see that. And it's something I built myself. All right. Okay, the plate is off of the trailer. I've got it over here on my outdoor welding table. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put it as close to the top as I can. That gives me 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch on the bottom of the jack on the ground, with it sitting exactly the way it's sitting now. And so it's just a question of putting it dead in the center, getting the pins lined up exactly the way I want them lined up, and got to clean up this. I'd already painted it, so I just got to grind that all clean, and then again do some measuring and fit the thing on there the way I want it to fit on there. Yeah, I bring out my battery grinder. I mean, it's not rocket science what I'm about to do here. You know, I'm just going to grind that clean and get a good base for welding. So, but battery tools make life a lot simpler around here anymore. I don't have to drag out cords and stuff and all of that. Okay, kind of have it set up here for welding. Got it clamped down. Everything is locked into place, rock solid. So all I got to do is drag the leads out, get them hooked up, and go ahead and tack it down. Okay, the mounting part is glued on. Not a bad job for old scab ass welder. Okay, actually I'm just a barnyard welder, so not a big deal. I believe it'll hold what I need it to hold. Now to get it in, get it painted up. Okay, there's a little bitty light coat of rust reformer black paint on it. I got another coat of gloss black to put on it, and we'll get that all painted up. And while we're waiting all that to dry, I'll show you that anti-rattle thing for the hitch. Okay, this is the anti-rattle device I made, and this piece here sits on the top, and the other will sit down underneath the lip of the hitch, so that it holds it all in place and it doesn't rattle around. So let's see if we can get that out. Well, this hitch, this anti-rattle fit nice on the old hitch system that I had on the other truck, and the old receiver ball mounts there. This is, I've got to modify it just a little bit. I've got to thin up this top piece, and then I've got to cut a small notch in the bottom to fit that brace that's on there. So let me get to that and we will continue on. All right, I cut a 1/4 inch off of this piece, and I have to see if I need to reinforce that after I've used it a little bit. I'd noticed before, if I really torque it down, that it might have just a little bit of a bend in it, but we'll see. And I can always put a brace across the back of it and stiffen it up some. Okay, time to remove this jack. Got to pull this base plate off it and loosen those 3 bolts up around it. Get that out of the way. Okay, this is what the anti-rattle device that I built for the truck looks like. Okay, you can see the lip that hangs over the part of the receiver lip, and the bracket that comes down. It pulls the hitch down tight. Worked really well. They're pretty simple to make. That's what it looks like from the top, from the bottom, and I've got the jackets removed. I put the bolts back in the holes with Never Seas, and I've sprayed it with undercoating to prevent some rust. I've got to go through the whole trailer with fluid film and spray everything with fluid film under it. Paint's almost dry on the other parts. I'm getting ready to mount them up. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've got the mount on there. All I've got to do now is tighten up the bolts and stuff, and I still got to do some work on the jack before I do anything else. There's a couple of things I want to do inside it, make sure that it's lubed up right and everything. This sits outside, and then the jack, when I'm trailering, will be put inside the trailer, so it won't be a big deal. Yeah, I just wanted to double check this, make sure what it had in it for grease and everything. Not happy with this other part because it doesn't really weather seal anything there. But then again, as long as it's lubed up good, I don't think any water is going to get down in the jack. Probably what I'm going to do is, once I get it set, I'll probably put some kind of a bucket or cover over it, you know, to keep the water and snow and stuff out of it during the winter. And other than that, put her back together. And the jack is mounted. Plenty of clearance for the tailgate now. No problems at all. So, not a bad job in my opinion. I don't think I've got more than, I don't remember what the jack cost, 50, 60 bucks maybe. I could look it up, but it all come out of E-Trailer. And the beauty of it is the jack, okay, when I'm not using it, it can come right off, and I put it in the trailer, and that way nothing back here to get tangled up in the rest of the equipment. And then putting it back on, simply slide it on there, put the pin down through, and done. So there it is. And as a side note, if it didn't want to take the jack off and I wanted to leave it on there, I could leave it on, and then this little safety chain All right, as you hook it up, you loop that around the handle so that the handle doesn't fall down, and you'll pin it back there, and there you are. So all in all, it's going to be a better system than what was on it. Well, at least what was on it with the tailgate that I have now. Okay, there we are.